We wouldn't be wasting time on these issues. It's the very last day of the holiday here in the country. And welcome to Politics Today. I'm Sulaiman Alede. Don't forget, we still have those two burning issues on the plate in the polity, specifically looking at the fight against corruption. The whistleblowing, the policy of the federal government is still on the table. And again, don't forget that the issue concerning the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Ibrahim Magu, the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, is still very much on the table. How will these issues get into 2017? Will it shape the fight against corruption? Those are some of the matters we'll be looking at on the program today. Don't forget the good news that has been coming from the camp of the Nigeria's troop, the military. They've been singing songs of joy and victory, and many Nigerians are saying, well done, guys. It has to do with the fall of the dreaded Sambisa forest. Today, they say perhaps that's going to be one of the training places of the Nigerian military. So we'll be looking at the fall of Sambisa and see how this translates into something very well for the country, as we'll be talking with our security expert from our Abuja studios. I have two gentlemen with me in the studios. From Abuja, we have Kabir Adamu. He's a security risk management specialist. Good to have you join us this evening, Kabir Adamu. And right here in Lagos, we have Charles Ajiboye. Charles is the chairman, Young Lawyers Forum, of the NBA Ikeja branch. Good to have you join us this evening. And on Politics Today, we have a whole lot that we'll try to look at today. You can also follow us live on Facebook and get a catch up on happenings on the program today. Very quickly, let's start off with this issue, which looks like the very top on our agenda today. It has to do with the fall of Sambisa forest. For you as a risk security specialist, management specialist, tell us what this means to you when you listen to the government of the day talking about the fall of the dreaded Sambisa forest. Kabir, is this an indication that perhaps some of these people would have infiltrated our society, and there must be something that experts like you should be telling the people to watch out for?
Thank you, Suleiman, and good evening, Nigerians. One of the most remarkable things about the fall of Sambisa is that we are taking away the organizational platform, the structure with which the group has been organizing itself to plan attacks and to actualize those attacks. And I think that's a very remarkable development. If we look back from 2014, the number of people that have been killed as a result of the Boko Haram insurgency, it's arguable about 7,000 people were killed in 2014, and then probably around near that number in 2015. Now, in this year, 2016, the number has dropped to around 2,000 plus. And it's nothing but the fact that the group is on the run. The military strategy against it has been very successful. So to cap all of this military strategy, the taking away of control of the Sambisa forest from the Jamaat al-Islam al-Dawat wal Jihad, I think it's a very remarkable development in the sense that on the one hand, it will boost the morale of the Nigerian military. They have achieved a goal. Remember that this is the pinnacle of an operation that began almost about a month ago, the capturing of the Sambisa forest. It didn't happen overnight. It was a well-structured operation. And then the result of that operation is the capture of that forest. So to that extent, I think it's a remarkable achievement. And looking at the strategy as well as the method of the attacks by Boko Haram, I think it would go to a long extent in reducing the capability of Boko Haram to carry out those strategies. However, the fact that the operation lasted over a very long period, and the fact that we know that there are other remnants of Boko Haram that were not in the Sambisa forest. And then, of course, we also know that some of them escaped from the forest. It means that there are other aspects of the counterinsurgency operations that we need to look at closely. If we look at method, for instance, what are the principal methods that this group has been using to attack? There are two major methods. One of them is the use of improvised explosive devices, and they deliver these devices by two methods. One method is by the person-born improvised explosive device, that's PBIED. The second method is the VBIED. Now, is the taking over of the Sambisa forest, is it going to stop this type of attacks by IED? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Why am I saying this? These bombs can be assembled in very small locations. They don't need such a big headquarters like Sambisa Forest to do that. The other type of major attack that this group has been carrying out are raids or sometimes ambushes, especially against our security forces. Now, unfortunately, even that will not be hugely affected by the taking over of the Sambisa Forest. In terms of targets of their attacks, we know that over the last few months, the majority of their targets have been soft targets. Now, what impact would the takeover of the Sambisa forest have with that? Unfortunately, as a risk analyst, I see the possibility of an increase on attacks on soft targets, mainly because it will be the only way they will now be able to make an impact. And I'm hoping that in the course of this discussion, we will talk about ways that the government and we ourselves as citizens can reduce the impact of these attacks, especially on soft targets.
I think that is exactly what we hope to look at on this program. You just highlighted one very, very important issue here, and it has to do with the conveyance of these explosive devices into our society. Perhaps this is a better time for us to start talking about vigilance amongst the people. If this truly means a fall, which according to the military and all those that have paid a visit to Sambisa Forest is what it is, and they have gone ahead to say this is going to be more or less like a training facility for the military,